Over the 6 seasons of Justified, there were a ton of antagonists. We've covered the most memorable villains already, and you can find those on our channel in a video titled Do You Know Me Now? This video is dedicated to the best of the rest. First up is Jean-Baptiste, a villain, maybe. He's a gator poacher and he hangs out with the Crows, Daryl Crow Jr. in particular. He's more like Wormtongue, though, from The Lord of the Rings, whispering in Daryl Crow's ear. And it's Baptiste that put the bug in Crow's ear to head to Kentucky in the first place.
Let me ask you something. Do you have a cousin doing Kentucky?
But I guess Danny didn't much like him.
This 21-foot rule. Hell yeah.
And of course that leads us right into Danny Crow. Bit of a psycho, this guy. Digs himself into a hole at the end. Literally.
You ain't ever heard of the 21-foot rule before?
Can't say I have. Me, I'm good to 50, 75 yards. Good a shot are you? You sure you thought this through, Danny?
Let's just say.
Now, first let me explain.
While Raylan is living in a bar, well, not living in a bar, but he has a room upstairs and a girlfriend downstairs. Pretty convenient, I'd say. But Lindsay, the girlfriend, forgets to mention that she was married and that her husband, Randall Cusick, fights for money.
Buddy, we are definitely closed.
Well, that's all right. I just need to have a quick word with my wife.
Raylan, of course, digs up the fact that Cusick is in violation of his parole. He has to stay in Florida. He gives Cusick until 6 p.m. to head back to Florida, but instead Cusick and Lindsay rob Raylan, and Raylan eventually catches up to Randall, and this time, after a pretty good fight between the two of them, shoots him with a beanbag shotgun and leaves him for the state troopers.
There's money in fighting chickens, Raylan. You think about it.
Errol Butler is right-hand man to Elston Limehouse, who is the ruler of Noble's Holler. Errol decides to branch out into the drug business without talking to Limehouse about what he's doing. Not very bright, given that Limehouse seems to know everything about everybody. And when he finds out, he kicks Errol out of the holler. Errol makes up for his misstep, though, when he does take a bullet and saves Limehouse from Robert Quarles.
One day, you about to tear my whole world apart over a dead trooper. Next day, you giving all this money to the man that killed him.
Wait a second. You think that I killed the trooper?
Who did?
Jody Adair was a criminal and apparently a sometimes porn actor. He's murdered 2 heroin dealers and skipped bail, so Raylan finds him for his bail bondsman Sharon. But Adair escapes and gets himself into all sorts of trouble looking to grab some money he stashed in his house. Along the way, he kills Sharon, takes hostages, escapes more than once, but in the end he draws on Raylan and, well, that's that then.
You want to do it right here?
Don't bother me none.
You ain't gonna shoot.
Up next is Coover Bennett, easily the dumbest of the Bennett clan, and that's saying something considering Dickie is his older brother. He's a constant disappointment to his mama, usually because he and Dickie get involved in some pretty harebrained schemes.
Boys, let's go now. That's enough. Did you hear me? Cover, that's enough.
He hates Loretta coming into the family, and he's jealous of the attention his mom heaps on her. He tries to kill Loretta, but Raylan saves the day.
Never give me nothing. Hell, her neither. But you come along and she put that hair clip on you like you was a prize hog at the county fair.
Cover! Cover, stop it! Stop it!
Stop! You're dead, girl. Cover.
Next up is YOLO. A stupid name, but I guess we can live with it as his character really is short-lived. He's one of Nicky Augustine's henchmen who kidnaps Constable Bob to find out where Drew Thompson is. I guess you really do only live once, YOLO.
Shit is about to get real.
Punk!
Come on, little guy, get up.
Bob.
Raylan.
Devil is Boyd Crowder's second in command. He was recruited into Boyd's gang back when Boyd was doing his white supremacist thing and robbing banks. Devil becomes discontented when Boyd's no longer doing that sort of thing and is in the perfect frame of mind for Robert Quarles to talk Devil into killing Boyd for a piece of the action. In what world did you think that would work, Devil?
Devil, knowing me the way that you do, whatever led you in your imagination to believe that you could pull this off? Devil.
Wait!
All I ever asked for was your loyalty. Was I not entitled to that?
Rodney Hot Rod Dunham from Memphis is a marijuana distributor from Memphis, Tennessee, who buys weed from the Bennetts. Dunham was also a confidential informant for DEA agent Alex Miller for 15 years, but is shot by one of Johnny Crowder's henchmen, Allie.
I split it 3 ways. People power. It's a pretty damn good investment, don't you agree?
Well, shit. You remember that day in the Bennett's barn? You and me's buying weed from Dickie? Be just that smooth. Okay, stop. Miller.
Yeah.
You got the flask.
911, what is your emergency?
Next up is Doyle Bennett. Doyle is the crooked chief of police in Kentucky. He's the oldest son of Megs Bennett, matriarch of the Bennett clan, and definitely the favorite son. Doyle gets what's coming to him, well, don't they all, when he tries to shoot and kill a wounded Raylan.
Oh, guys, cease fire! Knuckleheads. You all right? You shot at me!
This bullet's been on his way for 20 years.
And that leads us right to Dickie Bennett. He and his brother Coover run the Bennett weed business. Now, Dickie's a twitchy little guy, and he walks with a limp because Raylan hit him in the knee years ago. He tries to return the favor at one point, but Boyd Crowder steps in and saves the day this time. Dickie spends most of his time cooking up one scheme or another and looking for the millions that apparently his mother Megs left with Limehouse. He gets beat up by Boyd, who is pissed at him for shooting Ava. And remember, he just killed Arlo's wife Helen, too, so he's far from being an angel. He does survive in the end, but he's wheelchair-bound because of Raylan shooting his good leg.
You know what your trouble is? You keep thinking you're tough, so you're going back to prison to be reminded you ain't. You just stupid. Dickie, what choice do I have?
Dewey Crow. Is Dewey Crow a villain? Nah, he's not nearly smart enough. We have an entire segment of our Counting Crows video dedicated to Dewey on our channel, so maybe just have a look at that after you watch this video, if you haven't already seen it.
300,000, you nitwit.
Ash Murphy, Lance, and Layla. What a cozy little trio. Ash is a corrupt corrections officer in the Trumbull Correctional Institution. At some point in his time at the prison, he got together with Lance, the prison medic, and Lance's girlfriend, Layla, who works in the hospital transplant wing. Lance would find the bodies and cut them open using his job as a cover, and Layla would set up the contacts through the hospital transplant wing where she worked. Well, first of all, it all comes crashing down on Ash. Well, over Ash.
How you doing, Ash?
Marshall?
Why don't you put your food down? We'll have a word, huh?
Ash, you all right?
No, you ran me over, you son of a bitch!
Yeah, technically you rolled over me and then I backed into you.
Then Layla and Lance try to harvest Raylan's organs with disastrous results.
Layla, have you been stealing kidneys in motel rooms?
If I said no, would you believe me?
Oh. Cut them up and sell them for parts.
All right, well, at least put them in the tub. Keep from getting blood on my floor.
There you go. What is it?
I can't believe you shot me.
And we'll leave you with one of our favorite Justified lines of all time.
You ever hear the saying, you run into an asshole in the morning, you ran into an asshole? You run into assholes all day, you're the asshole.
If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and leave us a comment below. And remember to subscribe to our channel to be notified when we make more.